Hi everyone, this is Tony from Ensemble Manager, and in this video we're going to walk you through how you get members into your system. Now there's three ways you can do this. You can have them do it, you can do it, or you can import it. So we're going to go through each way. If you want to do it yourself, you go to your admin section, hover over members, go to new members, and you'll see this window here. Now, we start with step one, which is the email. The reason for that is Ensemble Manager is like a shared platform. So if you have one account, say one musician's account, that account can be shared with other orchestras. So for example, if I type in an email that I already know exists, and click continue, you'll see this. It says, looks like this person is already in your system. Well, what it is this was the email that I started the account with, so they're already in the system. So it tells you you don't need to do anything. Matter of fact, you can't do anything because all the buttons have gone away. So if I just click in the window and I type in a different email, we'll try this again with something different. And I click outside of the box. It goes and scans the database, and this message means this user's information already exists, which means this user has information in the database, but they belong to other orchestras and not your orchestra. So you simply click the create button and it would insert it into your account. So if I just type in gibberish at email.com and then click outside, obviously it does not see this, and you go step by step. You put first name, last name, username, and password. Now, the downside to this is that means you have to come up with their username, which means you would have to reach out to the person and ask, hey, what username do you want me to use, and what do you want the password to be? Another way of doing it, especially if you're doing it one at a time, is just to have them do it. Now let me show you how to do that. You would have the user go to your website or your account, which is going to be Ensemble Manager / whatever that account name you gave it. So for me, I just made up a name, called it the Darth Vader Orchestra. So the extension is Darth, ensemblemanager.com/Darth. And you would have them go to this button in the upper right hand side that says request access. They're going to click it, and it's going to go through the same process. It's going to see if they have an email. If they already have an account, it'll tell them, it'll just say create, and they'll be entered into your account. So I'm going to show you what happens if they have to fill out it as though they were a new member. Oh, this person already has an account, but I'm going to go ahead and add them to the orchestra's account. So I'm going to pick an instrument. We'll say violin 1, and I'm going to go submit. And this is what happens when they try to enter an account, whether they exist or they have to do it from scratch. They're going to get this message. Now, they can't get into your account quite yet. What's going to happen is it's going to send you, the admin, an email saying so-and-so just requested access, and you're going to have to actually grant them access. So here's what you're going to see. When you go to your admin section, you'll see this little window that pops up, and it'll tell you that, hey, some people have requested access to it. You click on it, and it'll show people that have tried to access or signed up for your account. You can simply add or remove. I'm just going to go ahead and remove this person, and they will be taken off the list. They will not be added. Now the third way to add members, and this is the best way if you have a new account, because it's going to take you forever if you have to do one at a time, or you have to email people and have them do it. And what you do is you simply do an import. This window right here will walk you through how to set up or how to import members via a CSV file. Now a CSV file is an Excel spreadsheet similar to this one. So I just kind of set up a dummy one. And you need to make sure you have this formatted before you even attempt it. You need to make sure that your last name and first name are in separate columns. If you have like Tony, Edwards all in one field, it won't quite work right. So that needs to be separated. The next thing you need to have, you're going to want to import possibly what instrument they play. If they play multiple instruments, don't have those instruments in one column. So don't have like violin, comma, violin 2, comma, cello or something. Have a single column for every instrument that they play. So if you have a member that plays 5 instruments, you're going to need 5 columns with the various instruments that they play. And then we have status, which is going to be tenured section. Make sure and check the member types, and make sure we have everything added. It's a good idea that if there's something that we didn't include, that you go ahead and include that before you do the import. You're going to have to have an email address. For phone numbers, we have 3 of them. There's the cell phone, home phone, and work phone. And if you have those 3, just have separate columns for all of them. And then obviously the typical ones: address, city, state, zip code. There's also a column for union affiliation if you want to add that. And we also have a column for notes. So you would save this, and you would save it as a CSV file. And I'm going to take this away. And you're going to come to this window. So I'm going to go ahead and do my little dummy list. It'll take it a couple seconds. And you see something that looks like this. Now, to do an import, there's a couple things that are required. Obviously, the first and last name. They have to have an email and a password and a username. So I'm going to go ahead and start creating these. I'm going to select the field of the column that this indicates. And then this would be last name. This is going to be my instrument column. Now, one thing you'll notice with these drop-down menus is I'm clicking on them, the cursor appears. That means this is searchable. So instead of me trying to find it, I can just actually start searching for it. Instrument, and there it is. Okay, now what this tells me is that there's an instrument that I don't have in my database. Now, what it's telling me is I've got the header, which is instrument 1, so I don't want to obviously add that, and then bass. And the instrument list is listed as double bass, but in my Excel spreadsheet, I listed it as bass. So in this case, I don't want to include any of those. But if you had an instrument that you missed, you simply click this button, and it would automatically add it for you before you do the import. I'm just going to close that out. And then we would do our status. And the other fields: notes, email. We've got to have our email. And then obviously our phone numbers, address, city, state. For now, I'm just going to skip these just for sake of speed. But you would include the rest of these. And now some things I want to show you here. Now, if you look over here, you notice that the username is green with a check mark. Well, I didn't add that. What happened is, as soon as you select a first name and a last name, this column over here for username will start auto-populating. It takes the first name and first 3 letters of the last name and creates a username for you, so you don't have to do it. That would be really tedious. And then we have to have a password, and you can go in and add passwords one at a time, or you can simply just add one at the top, and then if they don't already have one, it'll add it for you. Now, a couple of things I want you to notice about this Excel spreadsheet. You notice a lot of these are in gray. Now, what that's telling me is that these members already exist in the system, just like when you added it and that note said, hey, this person already exists. Do you want to just add them? So these already exist, and if you notice at the bottom, these members don't have, they're not grayed out, which means these are new members. So I could actually, change these if I wanted to. Put that back. There we go. So I'm ready to do my import. And one other thing I want to mention: if you notice, this one is not only grayed out, it also has a green check in it. If you see something like that, that means they're already in your orchestra. You don't need to do anything. They're not going to add it for you because it's already there. That's why it's checked. All right, so in order to complete the process, we got to select what we want. So you simply check the box, and then you want to deselect anything you do not want. Now, this first column up here, for this first row, these are the headers. So this is my first name, this is my last name, instrument. Obviously, I don't want to insert a member of the orchestra whose name is first name, so I'm going to deselect that. And this would be a good time to go through your Excel spreadsheet and find any mistakes. So maybe there's someone that you don't want to insert. Maybe they might have passed away. Maybe they left and they're no longer in their town. So you'd obviously deselect that. Okay, so now I'm ready to do my import. I'm going to finish the process by clicking import. And you're going to see a page like this. All right, now you're going to see this delete imported members. Now what this is for is a lot of times people will do an import, and oftentimes it'll be like 100 members or something, and they'll realize once they do the import they messed up. They're like, oh, I forgot to add address, or if they forgot to add something, and now they're going to have to go back and add those individually, which is just really time consuming. So if you need to start over, this is kind of like a reset button. The members are really in your system, so they're there. But if you want to delete them, now is the time to do that. If you just click this button here, it's telling you it will delete just the members that were imported, not everybody, just the members that were imported on this run right here. Sorry, that gives you an idea of how to input members into your system. I hope you found this helpful, and as always, thank you for using Ensemble Manager.